Welcome to the Chef Derek Carter, the Country Gourmet. Today I'm with Dario from the Good Life, and we are making a collaboration. We're going to make a two-part video. Part one is going to be a venison sausage.
Yeah, Derek, thanks for having us. Thanks to be with us today. And we're very excited what you've prepared for us.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy. Okay, Chef, what part of the venison we have here?
We have part of the leg. That's
Parts of the leg. Okay.
It's a good piece of meat to make a sausage from. Just normally you have to braise that, but it's perfect for sausage. And then we have to get some mixed in pork fat. So we gotta weigh out.
So that's our pork fat.
This is all pork fat. Yeah, we're gonna weigh out roughly 1.5 kilos here. First, probably be pretty close. 1.6.
Chop, chop.
Chop. That's good.
Not bad.
Works with the fat, more or less. It's not a big deal. We're going to step into weighing out our spices. So we've already weighed out curing salt, kosher salt, milk powder. I have some fresh comfort garlic. We're gonna add green leaves to our seasoning here, roughly 20 pieces.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we're gonna grind everything together here in a moment. So we got roughly 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Then we're gonna add some. We're gonna weigh out roughly 2 grams of chili flakes, because I like a little pep in my sausage. Give a couple piment or allspice here. Say 4, 5, or 6, somewhere in that range. Give also roughly some fennel seed. Roughly 2 grams as well. Some dried ginger. A couple grams. And then we have a little bit of juniper berries. Also 4, 5, or 6. And then we're gonna weigh out celery salt or celery seed, say 10 grams. This is already ground, but that's alright. We're gonna grind everything anyway. So this gives a nice flavor with the bay leaf and brings everything together. It has a very nice aroma. Yeah? So now that we have all our ingredients weighed out, we're going to grind them into a seasoning so it mixes better and it goes more thoroughly through the sausage.
Okay.
Yeah, more evenly dispersed. Here we have a very fine powder.
Smells great.
Smells amazing, huh? So then we're going to combine that in a moment. We'll take the curing salt and the kosher salt together. You don't need very much curing salt. You don't even have to use the curing salt. We just use it for safety. It has a stronger pH and also has some nitrates in there that help the color of the meat and also That's we don't have to worry so much about bacteria spread through the sausage, yeah?
Okay.
So now we're going to start cutting our meat, and then we will get to the next process. Yeah. So we're going to cut it in big pieces. Well, actually the size of our meat grinder. The meat here is partially frozen, and that's is what we like. For the temperature is very important for bacteria, and we don't have a spreading of it. Yeah. So, and also for the emulsion of the fat, the pork fat that we're about to emulsify the sausage with. Very important that we have a cold temperature. Yeah, because we're going to gain a few degrees as the meat goes through that around, yeah, in Fahrenheit around 35, between 25 and 35 degrees, and in Celsius we're gonna maximum 16 degrees Celsius. So usually that is it, but when you have it frozen you don't usually get over 10 or 12, so, and that's a good thing. Start with the next leg here. This is already a deboned venison, so we don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to cut out the bone. You can find that, you know, a butcher can get that for you, or sometimes you can do it yourself as well, you know. But as you see, the meat is very lean. That's why we need the pork fat. And we're gonna get that going here in a moment as well. Doesn't matter about the silver skin. It'll all disappear within the sausage as we're sending it through the grinder. So now we have all the venison cut up. Now it's time to start cutting the pork fat. Now this is also, you can buy in bigger pieces. Yeah, just ask your local butcher, or normally you can also buy it in your supermarkets, yeah? Cut that also in very big square pieces. It doesn't matter when we go through, but roughly the same size of the meat is.
Is pork fat the best match for it, or you can only also use beef?
You can also use beef if you don't want it. Pork fat usually has beef has a beefier flavor. Pork is more neutral, so
okay.
It's you taste more of the venison. If you mix in the beef fat, then you get more of a beef flavor, which is also okay. But we have all those beautiful spices that we blended, correct, and we don't want to mask that flavor. So. But you see we have roughly 40%, 50% in weight. With the pork fat, you can do a little bit less if you want to, but when I do a pork sausage, I do a little bit less fat because the pork already has a good amount of fat. But with venison, we don't have that fat content, so we add a little bit more, and we don't want a really dry sausage. Yeah, so there's also a couple things to help keep the sausage from drying and shrinking, and we'll come to that when we get to that part of the making of it. Yeah? So the next step is we're going to mix the two salts into our meat and fat to help bind everything. So we mix this really good, that when it goes through the wolf, that it helps the meat bind really tight. Yeah. Then we're going to add the milk powder. The milk powder we're going to add for one part of it is to help maintain the moisture. The other part is also to help with the binding of the meat, that we have a really good sticky, because this is a coarse ground sausage and we don't want it to fall apart when we're cutting it or eating it. Yeah, so this is to help it it stick really good. And if you can see it, it's getting tacky and sticky on my hand. And that is like a glue, like a meat glue for us. Yeah.
Okay.
The milk protein in there, huh? So now we're to that stage. This is where we can start grinding. We'll make some room here and here. We can go directly into the grinder. We'll fill a little thing up a little bit here. And emulsion in here, good content. A little loud. Part of the job. Part of the job. So, as you can see here, we have a good mixture of the fat and the meat. Now, what we need to do next is to add the seasonings, and then we're going to put it in the KitchenAid mixer here, and the mixer, add some fresh garlic confit. Yeah, this we don't have to grind because it's soft as butter. Yeah, so I'll just mix that in there. Take about 8, 10. You like garlic? I like garlic.
Yes, I love garlic.
We're gonna add some. We'll add a couple more for fun. Yeah, make sure it's up to our standard, yeah?
Yes.
Then we're gonna add our seasonings, and that's why we're gonna run it through the mixer, because it's very important that you mix it well, that the meat is seasoned well. We're gonna add some fresh ground black pepper in here as well, or mixed pepper, yeah?
Yes.
And then we will mix it quick with the hand.
And then you put it in a mixer, right?
Yeah, and then we put it in the mixer. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then we'll do it in 2 parts. I think we can probably do 2 parts here. So then we'll mix it on medium to low.
When do we know it's ready to go?
It only takes a minute
Okay.
with a mixer. Yeah? If you're doing it by hand, you gotta mix it a good 5 minutes. And we can tell here that we're done. You can see that it's evenly dispersed, the fats in the meat and the everything. So the emulsion, yeah, and our fat hasn't melted or anything. So that's all based off the temperature. So take this part down. Yeah, and then we'll add the mix. This here. Once we mix everything, that's when we taste it, yeah, because that's the last chance that we have before we putting it in the hog casings, yeah. Once we got the hog casing, yeah, done it before. It's a disaster. You have to take everything out of the hog casing. It's a waste of time and a waste of money, yeah. All that hard work down the drain really quick.
And then you have to do all the procedure again: cleaning, starting, cutting.
Yeah, not everything. I mean, just the filling procedure again. But that's a lot of the time-consuming side. Yeah. See how good it's going to be, just based off of the quantity of the meat, fat, in there.
Yeah.
And I can smell the aroma of the spices already, so
It really smells good. I mean,
yeah,
it's
that's
amazing.
where we're at right now. So now, like I said, this is the last chance to taste it, season it again.
Yeah.
Really good. Doesn't need any more salt, doesn't need any more seasoning. I think we're ready for the next step. So now we're gonna get to one of the last steps here. We're gonna put the hog casings onto the sausage filler here. I have it just soaking in warm water. You can add salt or however you want. And then we get it on here. So take a good amount of the casing here. And ask your local butcher again for this. They have this always, usually, if it's a good butcher. Flip it here. Okay, so we'll cut that. I think that's a good amount. That's about, I'd say 4 meters, 12 to 15 feet. That should be more than enough for the amount of sausage we have. Oh, it smells so good. Can't wait for part 2 on Dario.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So we'll start with that and then we'll do another thing. So next thing, very important thing, is you see we already have some air in here from the meat. So when we bring the filling machine down, you see it blows all the air out. We do that very slowly, because once the meat comes, it comes very fast. So we would just want to get rid of as much air out of our product here, because air pockets are bad. That's when the sausage will break and explode out the sides, where the weakest area is, and where there's a air pocket is the weakest area. So we go very slowly here, and you see we have more loft, more and more air there. Now we're getting somewhere. I can see it coming because of the air pressure. Yeah, so now we'll tie a knot. Yeah, and then we'll pull it back onto the product. Yeah, so now we're gonna slowly fill it and hold it that we stay very close to. Yeah, we don't want it too much filling in there, because when we tie them off, we just want to make sure that we don't have very much air in there, and that's why we keep our hand very close to the sausage. Yeah, and then we start forming a ring here. Now we push back on there, and now we can move pretty fast. Yeah. So there's our first batch. Now we cut enough off. Yeah, and we do have some air pockets, but that's all right. That's where we're gonna tie off the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we can go to forming the sausage here. So we'll tie a knot in the end as well, as close as we can to. Pull the slippery little piece there. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure, roughly 1 hand length, for bratwurst. It's good size, roughly 180 grams there. And then we're gonna twist it clockwise 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, roughly. And then we can use that as the second, yeah. And then we're gonna go counterclockwise now that they stay in there, but do it slow first.
Okay.
And then that's how you create your sausage, yeah. And then, like I said, use your, yeah. Now we go again clockwise, and you see that was where an air bubble was. It's good, yeah. The air bubbles towards the end, that's all right if it goes out towards the end. It's only bad if it comes out from the sides, yeah? So then here we have, here air again, that's okay. We're gonna take a knife and we're gonna poke the air. And then we're gonna...
But no meat is squeezing out there.
No meat will squeeze out of there, just we'll lose a little bit of juice, but it's not... It's not too bad, yeah. We're gonna smoke it, so usually when we smoke it, it'll close that up, yeah.
Okay.
And there we squeeze that air out of there as well. Will be better the next batch. Because as we hang it to dry and smoke, the skin from the bratwurst gets a little bit tighter and then it dries out, so we're not too worried about some of these little air pockets. You can just try not to. Oh, we have an automatically little one.
Cool.
From twisting.
Breakfast sausage.
Breakfast sausage, exactly. That's our taster. So, here we have
It already looks tasty.
beautiful sausage links. This we have to hang in the cooler for a good 24, roughly 12 hours. Yeah, that it dries out. You see it's very moist. Yeah, and then the skin gets tighter, like I said before. And then we're gonna smoke these as well. Yeah, but that is when part 2 comes, is after the process of smoking and drying. Then we're gonna taste.
It was a beautiful experience watching the process, and it looks already very tasty.
Yes, it smells tasty. That's why we're gonna wait for part 2, where we actually taste it.
I can't wait.
And then we make a wild berry chutney to go with it.
That sounds great. Derek, I enjoyed it. I hope you
enjoyed
too
it.
a bit. I mean,
Yeah,
you did all the work.
Did all the work, of course, like always, Dario. You
Yes.
and I work together. I do all the work, you stand and watch. Yeah?
This is how it works. But, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for this young gentleman. Derek, see you the next time.
Yep,
It was a pleasure.
my pleasure.
Bye-bye.